Chapter 07 First Battle. A path leading out of from the underground lake. It was a single tunnel. With a boy oh I ascend the path. Moving around is actually more pleasant than you'd expect. Even places that light fails to reach are perfectly visible to magic perception. I would moor around slowly checking every step when I was blind, and slimes aren't that fast to begin with. Now, I normally move at a walking pace, but can also run. Nor do I get tired. But, since I don't have any reason to hurry, I moved at a moderate pace. I swear this is not the result of a trauma from the first time I ran and fell into the lake. A short while after, a giant gate had appeared before my eyes. A human-made structure inside the cave. Nothing that strange about it. But that's because this development is common in RPGs. It's normal to have a door in front of the boss's room. So, how should I get it open? Should I cut it with the water blade? When I though that giga. With a creaking noise, the door is opening. A little flustered, I hid by the edge of the path and observed the situation. It finally opened, Lock fell apart and the doors rusted. Hey, that's only to be expected. Don't they say that no one entered here in 300 years? Not on record, at least. But more importantly, are we really going to be fine? We won't be attacked suddenly, right? Gahahaha. Don't worry. He might have been unrivaled 300 years ago, but times have changed. I mean, ain't he just a big lizard? I've subjugated basilisks by myself. Leave it to me. About that, I've wondered for a while, but that's a lie, isn't it? Basilisks are ranked B+, right? Solo subjugation would be impossible for Cabal-san, wouldn't it? Fool. I am a B rank myself. They are just big lizards. No trouble at all. Okay, I got it, so would you please not let your guard down? Well, if it comes down to it, I'll just escape using forced withdrawal. Guys, I got the extent of your friendship, so could you please be quiet? You'll blow my camouflage skill somehow. A boisterous trio had entered. I wonder why do I understand their words? Solution. In cases where intentions are vocalized, magic perception converts them to appropriate words and transmits them to the brain. I see. I can't talk to them, but at least I can understand them. Thank goodness. I had always been bad with English. I think that if you live in Japan there should be no need to study foreign languages. Those who plan to go abroad can struggle by themselves. But that excuse won't work here. I'll probably have to learn eventually. Well, that matter can rest for now. What should I do? This dilemma is worse than the previous one. How to open the door. I don't know what they came to do, but they seem like adventurers. Did they come searching for treasures and stuff? They are the first humans I meet in this world. Sort of want to go and greet them. But if a mute monster slime, aka if I, were to go out there, I'd be killed without questions. Let's wait for now. Meeting humans will have to wait until I can talk. For now, I observed this situation in hiding. After the skinny man had done something, the appearance of the three is dimmer. But I can still see them. Did he call this camouflage? Probably a type of skill. Is he just trying to peek? What an outrageous guy. Does he even know why they came here? Probably should get to know him later. When the three had finally left, I started moving again. Nothing to worry about. Not like I won't meet people anymore. I'll move while checking every step. As people have always said, haste makes waste. Leaving these matters for later, I quickly went through the gate in case the three had returned. A little while past the gates the path diverged and became rather complex. I wonder which way leads to the surface. Though even if I thought about it, there's no way for me to know. I chose a path and went down it. Chirori, our eyes met. Just a bit above the ground, in front of my eyes, there was a giant serpent. Like the past world's snakes, you could consider it cute. It was harder, covered in scales, and pitch black in color. Like a frog in front of snake? Nope, I am a slime, not a frog. Let's pretend I'm air. It would be best, though, if it doesn't notice me. Well, let's just try to slither away. Kisha, I was threatened. No good. I won't let you go. Or so it would probably say, if I could hear it. A fight, huh? I have a secret skill that I gained from a weeks-long practice. But even so, you've got to be resolved to die if you want to fight this beast. To summarize, I'm pretty darn scared. Don't panic. If I think hard enough, I can imagine something far scarier. Yes, Voldora. Let's compare it to that dragon. Oh. Doesn't seem that scary now. Can't I do this? After calming myself, I began quietly observing the serpent. The snake seems to have let its guard down, thinking I was so afraid that I couldn't move. Probably planning on how it will cook me. Yeah. Well then, let's not hold back either, Bishan. Without hesitation I fired a water blade at the serpent's neck. Zubin. Hyun. Dosu. Gorogoro. Zun. It was but a moment. I couldn't believe my eyes. Without even a hint of resistance, the water blade beheaded the serpent. I could only gulp. Up until a second ago, there was an ominous sneak right there. This is even more powerful than I had thought. Had I been forced to use it on the adventures, it would end gory. Good thing my first enemy was a monster. Oh, and by the way, my stomach is currently occupied at 30%, Voldora 15%, water 10%, medicine and other crap 2%, metals and resources 3%. Water bullet uses less than a cup of water, and I can regulate the size with the intention of increasing it, of course. Thus, even if I fire thousands of these, I won't have to worry about the amount left. This just might be better than magic. If monsters come out, let's meet them with a water blade. Now, about this snake. If I eat and analyze it, would I steal its powers? Well, let's try it. The result: inherent skill heat detection, the ability to see nearby heat sources. Furthermore, camouflage skills are nullified. Inherent skill noxious mist breath, the ability to release a powerful toxic, corrosive breath. Released at 120 degrees for a distance of 7 meters. TL note, 22 feet. Along with these two skills, I could also mimic the snake. The poison's main effect seems to be corrosive damage to both equipment and flesh. Would be pretty effective against normal adventurers, though with this world's magic, it just might be an easy win. And so I spent some time analyzing the snake's skills. Best to increase my hand while I can. Things I've confirmed: 1. I've gained the ability to transform into the snake. 2. I can use the acquired skills even without transforming. But their strength decreases. Those two things. If I had to explain them: 1. I can stock up on the bodies of monsters I ate and analyzed. My body had repaired the section 1 previously damaged, but it kind of has the feel of stitches made with cells. 2. Inherent skills are skills specific to that monster race. Similar to my dissolve, absorb, and regenerate. Regarding the skill, if I am not transformed into the appropriate monster, I cannot use it with 100% effectiveness. However, there are also skills like heat detection, which I can make completely my own. To summarize, it's like this. I totally dig Predator. It's another skill which is super useful. 3 days have passed since I fought the snake. I'm still inside the cavern. I don't feel cold, but it's probably below freezing in here. Sunlight doesn't reach here at all. And so, I kept worrying over one fear. I know. There's no way it's true. But no matter what, I just couldn't get it out of my head. Yeah, what if I am lost? No, there's no way. I mean, right? Who's heard of someone getting lost in the beginner's cave? Isn't this supposed to be the easiest part? Besides, even those 3 adventurers got this far without being lost. I should be fine. It's probably just a long path. But it's probably a good thing I was reborn as a slime. Had I come here as a normal world traveler, I'd definitely collapse from hunger by now. Who would have thought that I'd be thankful for being a slime? However, not knowing the way is troubling. Isn't there like a map of this place or something? Solution? Should I display the current location? Yes, no? Replay the current narration. Just couldn't help making a pun. But seriously, what the hell? Let me know sooner if I have such a useful ability. Absolutely yes. Curse you auto mapping. I also had a time when I thought that. Back in old games, you'd sit down with a pencil and a piece of paper and record every step to get to the goal. It was fun to plan every step. However, many people began relying on game guides, and eventually mapping became a standard game feature. No more pleasure of the hunt. Moreover, had you gotten used to that feature once, you can never go back again. Well, it's also true that without this feature, you'd be stuck in most recent games. Anyways, let's put this useful skill to use. I look at the map displayed in my head. This has got to be some mistake. I've been walking in circles. For me, who has compiled game guides before, to have been lost? Impossible. Definitely possible. According to the map, I've entered previously unexplored regions. So, I've spent 3 days looking at the world no one has seen before. Phew. To have mislead me, the dungeon is a worthy opponent. Let's pointlessly praise the dungeon. And don't even begin to think that I have no sense of direction. Is the entrance close by? There is various moss and weed growing around here. The light reaches from somewhere, bathing the grass in light and color. So it must be day. I've fought many battles to come this far. A centipede monster, evil centipede, rank B+, big, black spider, rank B, vampire bat, giant bat, rank C+, carapace lizard, Ammosaurus, rank B. Those are the 4 species I encountered. There was that one serpent, but I haven't seen another. They were all powerful foes. Defeated with one water blade, well, the bat evaded it a few times, and the shooting angle was bad for the centipede. Can't relax just yet. For example, the centipede erased its presence and attacked from behind. Luckily, that kind of attack wouldn't work on someone with magic perception and heat detection. So I shot out a few water blades from my back. The big spider was pretty dangerous. In the first place, I'm no good with spiders. It's a psychological thing. Just a sight of one makes me want to cower. But, maybe due to my heart, become stronger through reincarnation, I somehow managed to fight without running away. My bad, but I'm going full force. With that thought, I cut it up with 5 water blades. It wasn't an opponent I wanted to look at after all. And of course, I eat them all. It's survival of the fittest in this world. If you lose, you get eaten. And well, I did hesitate to eat the centipede and the spider. But I did do my best. But if a cockroach monster exists, I'll absolutely run away without eating it. There's these wonderful words in this world: he who fights and runs away will live to see another day. Here's the skills I got as a result: centipede monster, paralysis breath, big spider, sticky thread, steel thread, vampire bat, vampirism, ultrasound waves, carapace lizard, body armor. And so, having gotten my hands on new powers, I successfully left the cave. For the first time since being reborn, I was bathed in the light of the sun. Status name: Rimuru, Tempest species, slime, divine protection, the storm crest. Titles: none magic, none skills, unique skill great sage, unique skill predator, slime specific skills dissolve, absorb, regenerate, extra skill water manipulation, extra skill magic perception, acquired skill serpent heat detection, noxious breath, etc. Resistances: thermal fluctuation resistance, physical attack resistance, pain resistance, electricity resistance, paralysis resistance. Chapter 08: The Power in My Hands. It's been a while since I last walked under the sun. Not like I'm a vampire who'd melt or get hurt under the sun, though. Presently, using my monster instincts, I can sense such perilous conduct. However, I'll often do it, even if I know it's dangerous. Nothing to laugh about. Really have to better my self-awareness. The cave seems to be in the middle of some forest. The entrance lay at the base of what you could call a small mountain or a big hill. Sticking out from among tall trees, the hill can be seen from afar. Regardless of description, it's the only place from which you can see the sun. The forest is dim in comparison. Has that magic circle feel to it. A wise man keeps away from danger, as they say. And so, I quickly left that place behind. Since the moment I left the cave, some time had passed. The sun has begun to dip towards the horizon. Seems like I left the cave exactly at noon. You'd be surprised how much I want to align my biological clock with the sun. The moment I thought that, it naturally changed. Was it really so simple? Right now, it's 4 o'clock in the evening. It's time for dinner, but sadly I don't need food. I could eat, but since I don't taste anything, it's pretty wasteful. With thoughts of food, I remembered the monsters I ate in the cave. Though I got my hands on new powers, I have yet to put them to use. Black serpent heat detection, noxious breath, centipede monster, paralysis breath, big spider, sticky thread, steel thread, vampire bat, vampirism, ultrasound waves, carapace lizard, body armor. The black serpent's noxious breath, for example, I can't use at all. Honestly, when the carapace lizard appeared, I had used it. And as a result, as if it weren't armored at all, the lizard had dissolved before my eyes. An extremely gruesome sight. Even remembering makes me want to puke. And that's why I avoid it. If, let's say, adventurers had chanced upon this snake, they'd probably be annihilated before they could even cast a spell. If I were hit by it? I hadn't given it any thought, nor do I want to. Let's just say, thank goodness I shot first. To be hit by such a dangerous breath would be bad. But wait, that isn't something that I want to remember. Since seeing scrambled organs and bloody remains of lizards is rather unpleasant, at least for me, I decided to completely forget about noxious breath. As for what would happen when used as a slime, the radius decreases by at least 1/2. If transformed, the breath spreads out for about 7-10 meters, without mimicking that is reduced to only 1 meter. Anyways, would you want to see your opponent melt before you? Therefore, this skill I've sealed away. On the other hand, heat detection is simply wonderful. Living things radiate heat. If combined with magic perception, no attack can go unnoticed. However, since humans and upper-class monsters may possess some special skills or magic, this is no reason to let my guard down. Next, about the centipede. Not going to mimic this one because of appearance. The paralysis breath functions the same as the serpent's one. The range is no different, as well. And as I expected, the range decreases to a 1 meter when used as a slime. But it just might be a good skill to use during ambush. Or so I'd like to say, but if I had to fight an enemy that close, I'd be better off transforming or running. Anything else would result in inevitable defeat. The lizard. It was absorbed after being completely melted by my noxious breath. As such, restoring the body had proved impossible. Anyways, having physical attack resistance kind of makes transforming pointless. So I tried to use body armor while a slime. My face hardened. As you'd find in some MMOs, I had become a metal slime. My previously light blue body had changed color to a bluish-silver metallic one. However, as I didn't try receiving damage, I don't know how good it actually is. I did gain a pretty color option as a result, though. Maybe I'll use it to surprise some enemy. That's the extent of these 3 species' powers. The problem is the remaining 2. They hold very interesting powers. You wonder what's amusing about them? First, the spider. Right, you all know about the hero who possesses spider powers, right? Hyui. He shoots out thread from his wrists, leaping from building to building. That famous guy. Sticky thread is intended to trap your enemies and prevent them from moving. However, if I were to use it, could I reproduce his movements? Quickly, I put it to the test. Aiming at a large tree, Hyui. Brian. Let me explain steel thread. Sticky thread? What's that? Don't know anything about a skill that hangs you up on a tree. And so, about steel thread. It is intended to be used to defend against enemy attacks. Or when making a nest, it can be used to increase your advantage, build a maze. But what I tried was to make one thin thread and whip it at a tree. Pine. Button.star it easily cut through. And there's also that. While I can see it pretty easy with my magic perception, it's actually very hard to see with a naked eye. With practice, it might become a dependable weapon. I'll practice with it later. And last up the bat. I expected the most from these skills. Vampirism skill? By sucking the target's blood I can temporarily gain its abilities. Not a skill to worry about. I mean, Predator is simply better. Would it be too presumptuous to consider vampirism its degraded version? And I don't really want to suck blood. So after learning all I could about it, I neglected vampirism. Rather, the skill that caught my interest was ultrasound waves. More than bewildering the enemy or causing him to faint, the skill can also pinpoint one's location. In my original world, bats got around using the same ability. But don't miss the main point. These are essentially vocal cords. By itself, the skill's nothing special. So my next step became creating the organ necessary for using these sound waves. Luckily, I didn't have to create it from mere imagination and could instead reproduce it based on the bat I had absorbed. With this, I might finally be able to speak. Tired and exhausted, I continued working through the night without an ounce of sleep. Not that I need any. 3 days and 3 nights of constant research, and behold the results. Take me to your leader. Success. As for how it sounds, have you ever spoken right in front of a fan, that distorted voice? Yeah, that's how it is. The rest can be fixed with minor adjustments. While calming my excitement, I carefully started adjustments. However, I can't seem to use ultrasound waves. I could have sworn I could shoot out sound waves. I was going to call it Sonic Blast or a Sonic Buster. Can't I use those? Solution. From skill ultrasound waves, skill supreme vibrations can be derived. However, it cannot be currently acquired. Derive, huh? Probably need to have the skill evolve first. So I lack enough information to successfully derive the next skill. Shame. It would have been nice to have a skill that when fired would resonate with the target and destroy it. To be frank, if I don't get it myself, how can I expect to be able to use it? Seems like I'm a pretty greedy slime. Having many abilities is, without question, a good thing. But I see no need to hurry. I should just be satisfied with having restored my voice. And so, while trying out various things, I continued down this path. Without any direction in mind. But my goal, I felt, was a good one. Somewhere beyond the forest, there is a city with some nice people with whom I could talk. In any case, these days have been pretty peaceful. In the caves, I was frequently beset by monsters, but since coming out here, I have yet to fight one. Just this one time, while I was practicing speaking, I was attacked by wolves. I seem to have threatened them with my voice alone. Kaiian. And they ran away with a miserable whimper. Larger than the largest breed of dogs, with a body length of more than 2 meters, and a whole pack of them, what to say? Scared of some lowly slime, how pathetic. As for me, I had no desire to fight. Although I could acquire a sense of smell as a result, that thought piqued my interest, so I kept an eye out. But no wolves were in sight. Actually, there was no monster within 100 meters of me. Somehow, it's like they are fearing me. Why? Yep, definitely, I can sense their fear. Having confirmed that, I felt a group of monsters approaching. Before my eyes, a group of 30 human-like monsters stumbled before me. Small bodies. Crude equipment. Covered in a thin layer of dirt, their expression lacked intelligence. But not completely barbaric. There were also a few who wore swords, spears, stone axes, and bows. My gray matter, brain cells, quickly saw through to their true identity. The famous monsters that will attack adventurers. Yes, goblins. How stereotypical. And the ones they attack are weak monsters, so myself? But hey, to come with 30 people against a single slime, that's too much. However, somehow I feel no fear. My instincts refuse to fear them. Many of their swords had rusted, and their armor is thin. Some have stitched together some rotting cloth. Compare the lizard covered in thousands of hard scales, the spider with feet like sharpened blades. The I who have endured those battles cannot imagine suffering at the hands of these goblins. And in worst-case scenario, I'll just mimic the serpent and take out a few. As I was thinking these things, one of them stepped forward, probably the leader, opened his mouth. Guga. Oh strong one, does you have any business up ahead? Huh, goblins can talk. I wonder if they can use any of magic perception, and did they just call me strong one? First surround me armed with weapons, and then politely ask a question, what a bunch. I was amused. In any case, it doesn't look like they will attack right away. Will my words reach them? I guess I just have to try. And so, I tried conversing with goblins. Status name, Rimuru Tempest species, Slime Divine Protection, the Storm Crest titles, None Magic, None Skills, Unique Skill Great Sage, Unique Skill Predator, Slime Specific Skills Dissolve, Absorb, Regenerate, Extra Skill Water Manipulation, Extra Skill Magic Perception, Acquired Skills, Black Serpent Heat Detection, Noxious Breath, Centipede Paralysis Breath, Spider Sticky Thread, Steel Threat, Bat Ultrasound Waves, Lizard Body Armor Resistances, Thermal Fluctuation Resistance X, Physical Attack Resistance, Pain Resistance, Electricity Resistance, Paralysis Resistance.